Welcome to your Around the Peninsula. I'm Specialist Matt Cromer. It may be difficult to thank someone that pulls you over and writes you a ticket, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't happen. Specialist Aaron Loy explains.
People hold many opinions about military police. For Private Second Class Brandon Lee, one opinion stands out.
Well, most people think we take our job a little bit too serious, but that's why when we get the chance, we go out and talk to the community to let them know that we're here and let them know that they can just come talk to us whenever they need to.
Private Lee gets that chance during Police Week, as the Camp Humphreys USO holds a barbecue to honor military police. He greatly appreciates the event.
I feel good about it. It's a great feeling to know that the community, well, the USO really cares about what we're doing.
Event coordinator Ross Moore understands the importance of showing support to military police.
It's a great honor to be able to make people feel appreciated, and I know as a veteran myself that little bit of thanks that you may get just from people walking by or just saying thanks to you. You don't need it all the time, but in the Armed Forces active duty is definitely a thankless service, so anytime you can give back to them, they always appreciate it.
Specialist Aaron Loy, Camp Humphreys, Korea.
This is the first time Camp Humphreys USO has held the event, but hopes to continue it in the future. Finding your true calling can take time. Staff Sergeant Jael Laborn introduces us to an airman who cross-trained to take on a bigger challenge.
Inspiration comes from many different places.
My family is my number one motivation back home. I have a 7-year-old son and a year-old daughter, and that's really like my heart. I was born and raised in the Philippines, the naval base out in Olongapo. Then I moved to the United States with my dad in Vegas. I joined, following his footsteps. He was a loadmaster. Majority of my decision to join the Air Force was more of my dad's influence.
Mother Nature is unpredictable, and it takes a team to guess her next move.
The camaraderie here is pretty high. You know, we all are really like close-knit, like a family. Working side by side with the ROCAF weather forecasters is one of the unique and fortunate things that I get to experience being out here in Kunsan. We have to have awareness of what's going on weather-wise over the entire peninsula. See what kind of missions that our pilots are going to be doing, whether it be air-to-ground or air-to-air, and providing them with that mission weather-tailored forecasts for where they're going to be flying out in the peninsula.
Staff Sergeant Jael Laborn, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
The Kunsan weather team is responsible for the entire peninsula. There is a superhero at Camp Casey who's motivating others during a challenging run. Specialist Pedro Amador reports.
You have to get dirty, get low, and get strong. At the USO's first ever Warrior Rush, a 5K obstacle course. One participant who came down from the Joint Security area took the opportunity to wear his Halloween costume and run the course in comfort.
Never got to fully use it because the op tempo of where we are and didn't get to go anywhere, so decided this is as good a place as any to go ahead and bust it out, and then seeing the look on everybody's face when I ran by was worth it.
And people running the course seemed to get a kick out of Captain Planet.
When I first got out of the bus and he put it on, I was kind of really skeptical to be walking with him, but everybody thought it was a good time, so if everybody had a good time looking at him, I was all right with it.
But was it easy to run the course in spandex?
You know it was. Honestly, this thing breathes surprisingly well, and I'm thankful for that.
Specialist Pedro Amador, Camp Casey, Korea.
Sergeant Clark volunteers at USO events every chance he gets. One student at Seoul American High School shows how hard work can pay off. Army Sergeant Sam De Leon tells us all about it.
Most 9th grade students spend their free time playing video games, sports, or shopping. One student spent his free time writing a book.
It's mostly about this group of kids that after like tension builds up between the U.S. and China, China finally invades, and they just spend the time trying to survive.
We Are Survivors is Cameron's first book, and it took some time to write. His parents had to push him at times when he wanted to quit, but are proud of his commitment and dedication to finish writing his first book.
Oh, I was excited. As a parent, you know, when you start to see your child's work on paper and starting to understand their thoughts as it relates to this story, I was excited. I'm still excited.
Army Sergeant Sam DeLeon, Seoul American High School, Yongsan, Korea.
Cameron plans to write his second book over summer vacation. Seoul American Middle School suffers an earthquake. Army Sergeant Anthony King explains.
Students from Seoul American Middle School receive hands-on training in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, known as a STEM initiative.
Well, today we're doing the Earthquake Tower Challenge. It's part of the STEM program between USACE and Dodds Korea schools. We're doing dynamic loading of towers built out of straw, paper, clips, string, straight pins, and see how much shaking the structures can take. The teachers, the students show a lot of enthusiasm for STEM. They're hungry for actual real-life examples, which the Corps of Engineers can give it to them because we're doing it day in and day out. So, you know, they're being exposed to things that real engineers, scientists, chemists, geologists do.
Army Sergeant Anthony King, Yongsan, Korea.
This was the last STEM project of the school year. Every year in May, people take a long weekend off work. Army Sergeant Alan Brutus explains why this particular weekend is more than just a day off.
Service members on USAG Yongsan gathered at Knight Field for a Memorial Day ceremony honoring lives lost not only during the Korean War, but also throughout the history of both the U.S. and Republic of Korea militaries.
The United States Memorial Day traditions date back to the end of the Civil War. Originally called Decoration Day, General John Logan declared its first celebration on 30 May 1868.
During the ceremony, senior military leaders from the U.S. and Republic of Korea participated in a ceremonial wreath laying. Following the ceremony, guests had a unique opportunity to place flowers both on and around the books of remembrance, which list the names of lives lost throughout the Korean War. Army Sergeant Alan Brutus, Yongsan, Korea.
Memorial Day events took place throughout the entire weekend. There are many ways we can honor fallen heroes. Specialist Aaron Loy takes us to Osan Air Base.
CrossFit Osan conducts a hero workout, affectionately called the Murph, to honor fallen Navy SEAL Lieutenant Michael Murphy. Head manager Maggie De La Rosa explains.
The Murph workout is based on a workout that he actually liked to do, and it tells you really what kind of individual he was. He was just a dedicated and hardworking and persevered, because the workout consists of, it starts off with a mile, it goes into 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then ends with a mile. If you talk about getting out of the comfort zone, he's definitely an example of that.
During a firefight in Afghanistan 2005, Lieutenant Murphy moved away from protective cover to transmit a rescue call, risking his own life for the safety of his 3 SEAL teammates.
Wide open, took a shot in the back, dropped his transmitter, picked it up, and still made the call to get his guys rescued. So the significance is we honor his memory, and in the community, it's just an infamous workout we always do Memorial Day weekend.
Senior Airman Matthew Hopkins believes participating in the Hero Workout of the Day, or WOD, is the least he can do.
Participate in the Murph because it's a hero WOD. It's one of the hardest CrossFit WODs that are out there. It's very mind excruciating. It's extraordinary, physically beaten down. You know, he gave his life, I give my time, and I do it as hard as I can, and that's what makes it most. So.
Specialist Aaron Loy, Osan Air Base, Korea.
3 of the original 4-man SEAL team died during the 2-hour firefight. That's your Around the Peninsula for May 29th. To see these stories and others, go to the AFN Pacific website or view them through the AFN Pacific app. From all of us here at AFN, enjoy your evening.
In the world of postal mail, packing is serious business. No weapons. No alcohol. No animals. And for gosh sakes, no warheads.